Are you ready to find out the 10 signs that you need a virtual assistant? In this video, I'm going to dive through a few of the things to look out for if you are thinking of hiring a virtual assistant for yourself in your business, and how to know if you are in the position to get started. And this is coming from the person who wrote the book on how to scale yourself and your business with virtual assistant and AI, which you can now check out on Amazon. Now, the first sign is that your business works. And what I mean by this is you have proof that people are willing to pay you, and they're willing to pay you either really well or that they're willing to pay you over and over again. And that's what I mean by your business works. And a lot of the time, and we've gotten clients with my virtual assistant agency 2XU where they just started their business, they're kind of a few months in, they haven't really had the proof of concept just yet, and they start trying to hire an assistant, and this is where you hurt yourself. And your assistant is at that point where you don't have kind of a proven way to make money, that you hire someone, that you end up having kind of this haphazard way of kind of managing and hiring these people, because the moment that you lose a client, you lose a customer, you have to let them go. So you want to make sure that you are at that point where you're able to make recurring money in your business. Again, either you're paid really well for a service, for a product, for something that you do for your clients and your customers, or that you have a recurring way to get paid, whether it's a software, whether it's a recurring service that you do for them, whatever that looks like. There has to be a proven way that you make money, that you run your business. Next, and this is a typical sign, is you are working probably more than 50 hours a week within your business. Now, when you're starting up, when you are going through a little bit of that grind of making sure things make sense, of making that money, you are probably in that kind of point where you are working 50, 60 hours a week. But if it's been a while, if you've had that way or proof that you make money and you're still working that grind, it's probably time for you to start looking at what it is that you're doing, what are things you want to start delegating or giving to an assistant, so that you can actually start working maybe just 40 hours a week or 30 hours a week, where your life basically doesn't have to be discombobulated trying to make sure that everything is happening all at once. Next is you now have recurring tasks. And what I mean by this is you now have different steps that need to get done daily, weekly, monthly. So for example, you now have like email management or calendar management, or you have email, or you have customer service requests that you have to get to, respond to. There's basically now a good rhythm within your business. They can start delegating those, and you don't have to be the one doing them, because either you've systematized it or there's a tool that just needs a little bit of human supervision and they can start giving to someone else. Next is things fall apart without you. And what I mean by this is the moment that you take one day off, you're sick, or you can't even remember the last time you took a day off for yourself from your business, you need an assistant. Because one of the magical things, of course, when you have an assistant, is things can start running without you. Now, this is not an instant pill. This is not a magical thing that takes like, hey, I hired an assistant, now I can let go of my business. It is a whole process that I do cover in my book, Scale You. But the main point of this is that if you can't step away from your business, you haven't really built yourself a business. You've built yourself a job. You've kind of locked yourself within just working within your business, and you can't do anything else. So if that is you right now, you're watching this video, then you probably need a virtual assistant. Next is that things are falling through the cracks. These can be missed emails that weren't responded to or not seen at all. These could be opportunities that could have made your life a little bit easier. This could be orders that fell through or service that wasn't done right. Basically, things aren't systematized enough where you can create repeatable results for your clients, because you're still either doing everything yourself or you don't have systems written down. And this is also where a virtual assistant can come in, is they can start documenting how your business works, how things essentially make sense within your business. So things can again happen kind of in that repetitive result kind of way, where you know that they're going to get the same kind of result every single time, and that's through systems and having an assistant who can start working on them. Next sign is that everything is just so loud, and I call this, everything louder than everything else. Just because you're running your business, you're trying to grow your business, you're trying to have a life on top of that, everything is loud. Everything seems urgent. Everything seems like, hey, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do X, Y, and Z within the business. That means that you basically haven't delegated the right things off of your plate, and you also haven't been able to fully kind of prioritize what it is that you actually need to do, whether you are choosing to just run your business at this point or you're choosing to grow your business. And there are going to be different phases of your life, of your business's life, where you do want to focus on just running it versus growing it, or just growing it versus running it. But because you're still doing everything by yourself, you can't really, separate yourself from that. And usually what that means is that you're not growing. And that's another sign, is that you've kind of hit the ceiling within your business, within yourself, that you can't go beyond 10 clients. You can't go beyond 50 recurring customers. You can't go beyond some sort of number or some sort of limit. You just hit it. You just can't get past it. It's probably time for you to get an assistant to take away a lot of things that you probably shouldn't be doing, that you shouldn't be focused on, so you can focus on that growth within your business. Next is that you need specialists. And for me, the perfect example for that is I got to the point running my business when I first started out where I was still editing a lot of my YouTube videos, and I kind of did okay. I didn't do amazingly. And if you guys go back to the previous videos I've had on my YouTube channel about 5 years ago when I was still editing my own videos, I was not the specialist. I'm not the person for that. So I started out with my very first virtual assistant was someone who was a video editor, someone who could help me create a lot of the content that I was putting out here on YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere else. So if you are not the specialist, it's not your forte, it's not your superpower, you probably should hire an assistant for that. And next is you do have a high turnover. Let's say you've had a team already, you don't have a virtual assistant for yourself. You don't have someone who's focused on you, you just have someone who's focused on different parts of your business, and you kind of have a high turnover where people keep leaving, or you have to keep hiring people every 3 to 6 months. That means that you probably don't have the right systems to support them, or they don't feel supported in what it is that they're doing, whatever that looks like. And having an assistant basically is kind of having also a project manager where they can be kind of that middle person of like, not necessarily between you and the team, but someone who can manage basically things as they pop up. So as a really good example, between my own assistant and myself, one of the things that we have is she can bring up any issues while I'm still in focus mode, versus like everyone else, I will have to go back through basically their inquiries after I've kind of gone through that focus mode. So she's kind of a good person that they know they can go to, like, hey, Leanne forgot to do this, or Leanne still hasn't done this, or like, hey, this is coming up urgently, we need to get this done, Leanne needs to get on this. So that's kind of one of the ways that she kind of becomes my manager in a lot of different ways, is she manages my attention as I go along so things can keep happening without me. And finally, the biggest sign that you probably need a virtual assistant is you're watching this video. You've probably been looking for answers on Google, on YouTube, everywhere else, and you stumble upon this video. Well, basically, if you've gotten to this point, yes, you probably need a virtual assistant. I have a ton of videos on this YouTube channel to get you started. Of course, I also have my book, Scale You, that has now been out on Amazon. You can check that out as well. And if you're asking where to start with finding out what your 80/20 is, which is basically finding out what are things that only you can do, which is for me and my business, it's the content and the client discovery calls. And what are things that you can definitely start delegating to everyone else. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions that you might have when it comes to hiring and working with a virtual assistant. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to build a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!